One thing that's grinded my gears about Marvel is that just one thing, chat. One thing that's grinding my gears about Marvel, though, is the fact that Moon Knight had all these collections come out. They've got pretty much all of it. They've got all the beginning stuff. They've got his stuff in West Coast Avengers. They've started the Chuck Dixon, Mark Spector Moon Knight. And then they moved on to the Moon Knight from like 2004, 2005 in an omnibus. So the Mark Spector stuff's getting collected. It's working its way. Then they did complete collections of Bendis's, and then they skipped over all these here. Then they did who is the next guy who had one? Jeff Lemire's, and they did a complete collection of that. Then they did Max Bemis's complete collection, but they completely ignored these. This had Warren Ellis, Cullen Bunn, and Brian Wood's trade paperbacks. And this here from the Dead Omnibus is only printed in Europe. This is from Panini Press in the UK. And so it plays on the like Khonshu, kind of going crazy Moon Knight. Warren Ellis has a series of just like one-offs where Moon Knight is just facing off against different like weird ghosts or demons, and you kind of question what's real and what's not, just a little bit, for his first 6 issues. And so the art's really good. The stories are one-offs, so they're very much just like you can read them real quick. And he's the pacing's like he kind of maybe phoned it in a little bit because there's like a lot of pages with no dialogue that just go boom, 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 boom. And it doesn't really read like a lot of Warren Ellis stuff. But the ghost storylines were pretty neat, and it's definitely worth a read, especially if you've read the 2004-2005 stuff, because it kind of builds from the Khonshu story built in there. And of course, then it gets into our next ace writer, Brian Wood, who's been canceled now. Both Warren Ellis and Brian Wood have been canceled. Maybe that's why this hasn't been done. Cullen Bunn hasn't been canceled, though. So I don't know. And we get into this storyline here where it's a little bit more hectic and a little bit more all over the map, as Moon Knight is now in this like suit sort of thing. There's this lady that he knows, and she is like kind of running this like operation. Now it gets weird. He does an entire issue from the perspective of the news hunting down Moon Knight, and Moon Knight gets in trouble with the police. They think he's actually like the killer, and she's trying to hunt down this like, what is it, like this African dictator who like is really bad, but he's like, but Moon Knight's doing the like, this is not the way you bring people to justice. I must stop you from killing him. And she's like, hey, he's a mass murderer though. Why? And he has to deal with that. So he has to deal with both her and the bad guy and try to stop his plot as well. And there it goes. So I don't know. I didn't like that quite as much as we get into this here. As you can see, I don't even think the art was as good in this version either. When we get to Cullen Bunn, it becomes like kind of like horror stories. And again, it gets to like little one-off horror stories with Moon Knight. Cullen Bunn's a horror writer for the most part. So he deals with like a werewolf. He deals with ghosts. He deals with things like that. And so it's very Cullen Bunn. Really, really cute and very fun. I think the art picked up again a little bit better once more. And I think just the pacing's a little better. I think Brian Wood's was just like very disjointed in a lot of ways, which I didn't quite enjoy as much. So it's really a mixed bag, as you can see, because there's 3 different creative teams throughout this entire deal. But these are like the ones, if you want to read Moon Knight all the way in order, you have to get this to get everything. And so I'm really surprised they don't have this. These are in trade paperbacks individually, their 3 books, but they're extremely expensive and hard to find. So this is a great book to get. Overall, the stories were all right. I'd call it like a 7 out of 10, which is my average. It's not like great, not bad, but it was worth a read. Okay, leave a comment down below with what you think about this, and let me kind of show you the deal. It's Moon Knight 2014, 1 through 17. You can see it's £29.99 Panini Comics, not available in the USA. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.